and welcome to MovieNest. Today, we're diving into a film with one of the most mind-blowing and clever plot twists you'll ever see. The story begins in modern-day Japan, where we meet a quiet student named Takahata. He's not like the others, brilliant, sharp-minded, always ahead of the curve. But that intelligence comes with a cost. Life feels dull to him. He's bored, craving something thrilling, something to challenge him. And that wish is about to come true in the most horrifying way possible. One day, while sitting in class, everything seems normal until, out of nowhere, the teacher's head explodes right in front of everyone. In the very same moment, a strange red toy called Daruma appears where the teacher once stood. Without warning, it begins to speak. Then, it explains the rules of a deadly game. When Daruma turns around and sees anyone move, their head will explode. But when its back is turned, the students are free to move. It's a twisted version of red light, green light. Panic erupts. The moment someone flinches, they're gone. Killed instantly. Those who try to escape don't make it far either. If you panic and run, you die. The toy keeps repeating its name in a haunting voice, as if it's enjoying the chaos. With every death, strange red balls fall out of the students' bodies, making the floor even more dangerous. Two students try to make a run for the exit while Daruma's back is turned, but the door is locked, and before they can react, they're both dead. As the classroom descends into hysteria, one student, Saki, steps up. He tries to calm the others down, saying he's heard of this before. It's the infamous Daruma game. According to him, the only way out is by pressing a hidden button on the back of the doll. One student tries, making a desperate dash toward the toy, but Daruma reacts instantly, turning faster than it talks, and kills him on the spot. That's when the others realize Daruma's voice is slow to deceive them, but its reactions are lightning fast. Things get worse when they spot a countdown timer on Daruma's back. They have just 60 seconds before everyone dies. The class charges toward the toy in panic, slipping on the red balls, screaming, falling. One by one, they all perish. The classroom becomes a bloodbath. Only Takahata and Saki remain. With seconds left, they come up with a risky plan. Saki crouches low, and Takahata uses his back to leap toward the button. In the final second, he manages to hit it. Daruma topples over, defeated. They survived, or so it seems. As Takahata catches his breath and Saki lets out a sigh of relief, Saki's head suddenly explodes. Takahata is left speechless. Then, Daruma speaks again, coldly. Only the person who presses the button wins. The horror sets in. Before he can even process the loss, Daruma adds a cryptic warning. The cat is coming next. The classroom door creaks open, and standing there is Takahata's friend, Aika, looking terrified. She tells him she just went through the same thing. She pressed the button, and every one of her classmates died too. Together, they try to find help, but there's no phone signal. Every door is locked. Even the windows won't break. The school is no longer a safe place. It's a trap. Eventually, they find one door that opens and leads to the gym. They step inside, hoping for escape, but the moment they do, the door slams shut behind them. And they're not alone. Inside the gym are other students, some of them wearing mouse costumes. On the floor, a new challenge is written in bold red letters. Put the ball in the basket to win. Suddenly, the ground begins to tremble. The students freeze. Then, without warning, a giant cat statue crashes through the wall, towering over everyone. Before anyone can react, it lunges forward and devours one of the students dressed in a mouse costume. Chaos erupts as the cat starts chasing anyone wearing the same outfit. It's clear, this new game is even more terrifying than the last. The students scatter in panic. The cat barrels toward Takahata and Aika, but oddly, it doesn't attack them. That's when they realize it's only targeting the ones in mouse costumes. Just then, Aika notices a ball rolling across the floor, and Takahata spots a basketball hoop embedded in the cat's chest. The goal becomes clear. To win, they have to score. Takahata shouts out the strategy, and a skilled basketball player quickly asks Aika to pass him the ball. He leaps, shoots, it's going in, but the cat suddenly swats it away, grabs the ball mid-air, and hurls it back with such force that the player slams into the wall and dies on the spot. The cat turns its attention back to Takahata but still doesn't attack. It's focused only on those in costume. Takahata quickly warns everyone to take them off. The students rip off the mouse suits, finally thinking they're safe, but the cat suddenly changes behavior. Now it's attacking everyone, costume or not. Panic returns. Students scream and scramble across the gym. Aika finds the special ball again, but this time, there's a countdown timer on it. Only 3 minutes left. The cat corners her, preparing to strike. Seeing her in danger, Takahata does something brave. He puts on a discarded mouse costume to distract the cat. It instantly locks onto him and gives Aika a chance to escape, calling for help, begging someone to pass him the ball. But after seeing what happened to the last player, no one dares move. Then something strange happens. Takahata starts hearing whispers, murmurs from the cat. It turns out, by wearing the mouse costume, He can now understand what it's saying, and what it wants is simple. The cat just needs someone to scratch its back so it can sleep, with no other option. Miraculously, the cat starts to calm down. Its breathing slows, its eyes flutter, it's working. Takahata calls out to the others for help. Ichika joins him, and slowly, more students follow. Together, they soothe the beast, and soon, the giant cat is sound asleep. Now's the chance. Takahata grabs the ball and gets ready to throw it into the hoop, but before he can, chaos breaks out again. The other students rush toward him, screaming and fighting. Everyone wants to be the one to score, terrified that only the shooter will survive. Their shouting wakes the cat, which lashes out instantly, killing 2 students with one swipe. Takahata knows there's no time to put the cat back to sleep. He needs a new plan, and fast. He grabs a torn basketball nearby and tells Ichika to take the real one and disguise it in the changing room. Moments later, the 2 return, each holding a ball wrapped in the same mouse fabric. They flank the cat from opposite sides, hoping to confuse it. The cat looks between them, unsure which one is real, but then Takahata accidentally gives it away. His ball looks too ordinary. The cat spots the real one in Ichika's hands and blocks her shot, just as planned. While it's distracted, Takahata throws his disguised ball, which secretly holds the real one inside. It hits the hoop, but it bounces out. Everyone thinks they failed, until, out of nowhere, another student leaps into view. A boy named Amaya grabs the ball midair and slams it into the basket at the final second. The cat suddenly freezes. The game is over, but the relief is short-lived. The cat reawakens and declares the winners: Takahata, Ichika, and Amaya. No other names are mentioned. Amaya suddenly begins slaughtering the remaining students. He's completely unhinged, ranting about how only the strong deserve to survive. He walks toward Takahata and Ichika, claiming they're the only ones worthy. Ichika pushes back, calling him insane and saying he's nothing like them. Furious, Amaya lunges at her, but Takahata steps in, shielding her. Just then, the cat releases a strange white mist, and all 3 of them vanish. Moments later, news reports flood the airwaves. Across the world, similar deadly games are unfolding in schools. Over 10 million students have already died. The government tries to cover it up, but some journalists reveal the truth. Floating alien cubes have appeared in the skies, and inside the Japanese cube, Takahata wakes up again. This time, he's not alone. Standing beside him is Takusa, a girl from another school, and someone he once had a deep relationship with. Alongside her are 2 other survivors, Tiara and Taka, both of whom managed to escape the Daruma and cat games in their own schools. Takahata began to notice something strange. Every student in this new location had a name starting with the letter T. It couldn't be a coincidence. He suspected that the survivors were being grouped based on the first letter of their names, perhaps for future challenges. That meant Ichika and Amaya, whose names started with the same letter, might be in the same group. The thought unsettled him. He rushed to the door of his room and began banging on it, hoping someone might hear him. But before he could do more, a student named Tiara interrupted him. Tiara was smart, clearly brilliant, but also arrogant. She told him bluntly that no one was coming to help. Then, she revealed a 3D projection of the current news, showing the chaos happening outside. Takahata realized the truth. He was now inside one of the floating cubes that had appeared around the world. Tiara confirmed it. They were trapped, and the only thing they could do was wait for the next challenge. That wait didn't last long. Suddenly, a knock echoed through the room. The door creaked open, and 4 strange floating puppets entered, their faces blank and unsettling. They announced that it was time for the 3rd challenge, and this one would be even deadlier. The first player, Tiara, confident in his intelligence, he agreed to go first. The rules were explained. Tiara would be blindfolded, and the puppets would float around him while singing. When the song stopped, he'd be asked one question: who is standing behind you? If he answered correctly, he'd live. If not, the consequences would be fatal. Tiara sat down, blindfolded. The song started, eerie and haunting. Then silence. The question was asked. He hesitated, nervous, and guessed wrong. Instantly, one of the puppets fired a laser that hit him square in the chest. Suddenly, Tiara's body was under their control. He was forced to slam his head into the floor, again and again, until he died in front of everyone. Without pause, the puppets called on Taka to take her turn. Terrified, she refused, but the puppets warned her. Refusal meant instant death. With no choice, she agreed. Blindfolded, the song began. When the question came, fear kept her from speaking. She was declared a loser. She tried to run, but it was too late. The puppets surrounded her. One of them fired another laser that forced her body open, dislocating her legs. Then, slowly and cruelly, they tore her body apart, snapping bones and limbs until she was nothing but a broken mess on the floor. Next, the puppets turned to Takusa, Takahata's old friend. But before she could speak, Takahata stepped forward. "I'll go instead." The puppets agreed. Takahata sat down, blindfolded. The song played. The question came, "Who's behind you?" He answered, correctly. The room went silent. The puppets were stunned. How did he know? I memorized your movements, Takahata said calmly. The group received the key. They saw another student running, being chased by one of the puppets. Hold hands, he yelled. It won't attack groups. They realized this puppet only targeted students who stood alone. When it saw them holding hands, it backed off and left, searching for new prey. Now Takahata's group had 2 keys. They heard another sound, cornered and about to be attacked. Without hesitation, Takahata rushed forward, grabbing her hand just in time to save her. Then, a giant wooden head appeared on the wall, displaying a countdown timer and 7 key slots. A deep voice announced, 7 people must insert the 7 keys. Takahata's group met 2 more survivors who also had 2 keys, bringing their total to 6 people and 4 keys. They needed 1 more person and 3 more keys. Suddenly, someone threw the remaining keys at their feet. It was Amaya, and he wasn't alone. But before they could speak, Amaya killed the student beside him, coldly explaining, I only needed him to hold my hand so the doll wouldn't kill me. Takahata didn't want Amaya to be part of the group, but there was no time to argue. They now had 7 people and 7 keys. They inserted them into the head. The challenge was declared complete. The wooden face vanished, and a tunnel opened up ahead. The group stepped through, only to find themselves in a new environment, completely covered in snow. Then the ground shook again. A massive white polar bear emerged, wearing a strange theatrical outfit. It danced and performed dramatically before turning to the group and saying one chilling sentence. I hate lies. The polar bear calmly explains the next challenge. This game is all about truth. You will ask questions, and everyone must answer honestly. But here's the twist. If anyone lies, the group must identify the liar or sacrifice someone to proceed. The bear begins with a simple question. What is your favorite food? Everyone answers easily, but then the bear growls, I smell a lie. The group has 2 minutes to find the liar or choose someone to sacrifice. Suspicion falls on one student who said vegetables were his favorite, a choice many found unconvincing. He insists he's telling the truth, but the team doesn't believe him. In the end, the next question is deeply personal. Do you love Takahata? Both Aika and Takusa, who have feelings for him, say yes. Surprisingly, Amaya and a few others also say yes. But again, the bear says, one of you is lying. Aika immediately accuses Amaya. She's certain he doesn't care about anyone. Tensions rise. Why would anyone lie if the bear could see through it? Then, the bear praises Takahata, revealing something chilling. Has been lying since the beginning. Identify and eliminate them, or die. A student quickly points the finger at Takusa, claiming she's the odd one out since she came from a different school. Takahata and Aika defend her. Majority wins. Takusa is sacrificed. Her body is crushed. All that remains is a pool of blood. Takahata is devastated. He's just lost someone he once loved. Before the bear can continue, Takahata speaks. Calmly, he says, I know who the liar is. The bear pauses. Takahata points, not at a student, but at the bear itself. Everyone is stunned. Takahata explains, Takusa helped me realize it. When she died, her blood washed off the white powder you sprayed on yourself. Your true color isn't white, it's black. You're the liar. You were the deceiver all along. None of the students you killed were actually lying. The ground beneath it gives way, and the bear falls into a pit of boiling heat. Its body begins to melt, the white paint dissolving, revealing its black core. Defeated, it admits the truth. The team moves into a new chamber where a small doll awaits them. This is the final challenge. It says, one of you will be chosen and renamed Okumur. That person will receive a box and must place it inside a red circle at the center of the arena. The rest must hide. Okumur will then hunt them. If Okumur catches and imprisons 3 students, he wins. But if any free student reaches and kicks the box, all the captured players will be released, at the cost of the kicker's life. Because the box contains a bomb. The dolls add one final detail. The challenge lasts until sunset, just 1 hour. If Okumur doesn't catch at least 3 people, he loses. Unfortunately, it's Amaya, the most dangerous and ruthless of them all. The students scatter and hide. Amaya places the box in the red circle and begins hunting. He quickly captures 2 students from another school. Takahata and Aika watch helplessly from afar, but Amaya spots them and heads their way. Takahata ties a rope, hoping they can escape through a window, but Amaya is too fast. Realizing they won't make it, Aika sacrifices herself, allowing Takahata to escape while she's captured. Now Amaya only needs 1 more prisoner. Takahata hides, knowing Amaya will now guard the box. Takahata springs his trap. He's chained Amaya to the castle tower. Takahata looks him in the eye and reflects, I once hated my life. I thought it was boring. I see how precious it really was. These games made me lose everything. Then, without hesitation, Takahata jumps off the roof, dragging Amaya with him. They crash below. Takahata sheds the armor and races back up the tower while Amaya struggles to free himself. Just as the sun begins to set, Takahata reaches the box. Exhausted and barely moving, He kicks it. Everyone braces for the explosion, but nothing happens. There was no bomb. The dolls reappear, applauding. They reveal the final twist. There was never any danger. We lied about the bomb to make the game more thrilling. Fireworks explode in the sky. The surviving students cheer. The dolls hand out ice cream as a reward for surviving all the challenges. Takahata sits with Ichika, smiling, finally relaxed, as they talk about what they'll do once they're free. Takahata notices something written on his ice cream stick, but ignores it. Ichika reads hers and begins to cry. On it were the words, "You lost. You will die." The dolls explain the final rule. Every challenge tested logic, strength, and trust, but in the end, fate decides who lives and dies. They tell the students to check their sticks. Takahata is marked to live. Amaya, too. But Ichika and the other two survivors are marked to die. Without hesitation, the dolls fire beams of energy, vaporizing the three losers instantly. Ichika dies in front of Takahata's eyes. The games are over. Takahata and Amaya are transported to the top of the floating cube hovering over Japan. Below them, people cheer. They are the survivors, the victors. But Takahata doesn't smile. He stares out into the crowd, his heart shattered. He survived every game, but at the cost of everyone he ever cared about. And with that, the story ends.